Graydon House and HarlequinAudio present The Sunshine Girls, a novel by Molly Fader, performed by Arndt. For my mom. Part 1. 1. Clara. Greensboro, Iowa, 2019. There were too many lilies. Clara wasn't an authority on flowers or funerals, but it was like a flower shop that only sold lilies had exploded in the blue room of Horner's funeral home. This was what happened when everyone adored you. They buried you under a mountain of your favorite flower. In this case, stargazers with their erotic pink hearts and sinus-piercing pollen, before they actually buried you. And it was just a cosmic kick in the pants that Clara Beecher was allergic to her mother's favorite flowers. "Clara!" Mrs. Place, her 8th grade language arts teacher, clasped Clara's hands in her bony grip. Mrs. Place had not changed at all. She was the kind of woman who seemed middle-aged at 17 and just waited for time to catch up. "Your mother was so proud of you. You and your sister, you were her pride and joy." "That's nice of you to say," Clara said, keenly aware of her sister, Abby, across the room doing the sorts of things that would make a mother proud. At book club, she'd go on and on about you and the important work you were doing in the city, and, well, most of it went right over my head, Mrs. Place said. There was nothing complicated about Clara's work. Mom just lied about it, so, as a former hippie, she didn't have to say the words, "My daughter is a corporate shill." But you could tell she was just so proud. Clara pulled her hand free in time to grab a tissue from one of the many boxes scattered around the room and held it to her allergy-induced dripping nose. "Thank you," she said through the tissue. "Everyone is going to miss Bets," Mrs. Place said. "So much. There's not a part of this town that she wasn't involved in. Church, the library, park board, community gardens. Like an invasive species. Invite her to something and she'd soon be running the show. Grief is making you sharp." That was something her mother would say, if she wasn't dead. The blue room of Horner's funeral home was hot and wall-to-lily packed with people coming to pay their respects to one of Greensboro's favorite citizens. BettyKay Beecher had lived her whole adult life in this tiny town, and the town had shown up bearing casseroles and no-bake cheesecakes for the reception after the burial, wearing their Sunday best, armed with their favorite BettyKay stories. "She sat with my dad when he was dying. She helped us figure out the insurance paperwork when our son was in his accident." They were all mourning. The whole room and the hallway outside and the people still sitting in their cars in the parking lot. People were crying real tears, huddling, sobbing, actually sobbing in corners. And all Clara could think was, did they know? Had Mom, in true fashion, told the entire town the secret she'd kept from her own daughters for nearly 40 years? The bombshell, life-rearranging, ugly secret she'd blurted, exasperated and furious with Clara in their last phone call? Would they be mourning so hard if they knew? Clara sneezed. "Oh, bless you, honey," Mrs. Place said. "It's just allergies." Clara folded up the tissues before putting them in the pocket of her new black Marco Zanini suit with the sash tie and the sky-blue silk lining. She'd thought the lining might be a bit much for a funeral, but that was before she knew about the lilies. And don't get her started on all the men wearing camouflage. To a funeral. Were they all going hunting after this? "She's with your father now. I hope you find comfort in that." "I do, thank you." It was, as it always had been in Greensboro, Iowa, easier to lie. Another person came up with another story about BettyKay Beecher. "Is that..."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?